Hello, this is Joe. Ask Joe about money on February 13th, 2023. And we're going to do the after market daily recap of the S&P 500. I'm showing it here on the MES, which is the micro contract. And I want to talk about the day and how it unfolded. And so the first thing that we looked at was this morning. We looked at, these were just this last 5 trading days indicated by the box of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the range per day: 30 points, 85 points, 50 points, 80 points, 30 points. And we were talking about this morning how we saw this topping action going from the prior week actually, and then last week we continued to fail to make higher highs and we came down. So at this point we were at support, and I talked about not being overly excited to the long side, but there was a move available up to roughly up here, and the market did have a trending day today. I didn't catch much of it, to be honest with you, and let me tell you why. Let me show you on the 5-minute chart. So as the market opened up, let's do it this way. As the market opened up, I was looking at, so the first bar was a red bar, but not a big red bar. We're about 10 points from the moving average. And then the next bar was a big green bar closing at its high. So at this point, I was thinking about longs, but I wanted to see what the next bar would bring. And the next bar left a big wick on top, although it was green. So at this point, I'm really thinking, you know what? If the market were to print another green bar, another big green bar, I'd be willing to get long here, because this could be one of those days of a trend off the open. And it did. But when I saw this wick on top, I decided that I would wait one more bar. And then they printed this perfect doji. So now I'm at this point, however, the one thing that I can tell you is at this point, I was not thinking short, because the open could reverse. I was not thinking short at the time because this is showing a lot of strength. Then after this bar here, okay, I did get long at the close of this bar. Okay, so let me show you what happened. So I got long at the close of this bar. And so remember, when you're making a trade like this, you have to have your stop all the way down here at the bottom of this low. So for how I trade, because I'm trading for the bigger move. And so I got long up here, and this is my risk box. And then we'll see what happened with price action. So at this point, I see a disappointing bar. Okay, so after I see this disappointing bar, I'm not really excited about my short anymore, because it felt like I was getting long at the top. After this bar, I was like, okay, the momentum is over. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up closing out at this bar 10 minutes later for a scratch. So that was the first trade, which was a scratch. I was a little bit late to the party here, but the learning lesson here is I recognized that quickly, and I did get out. And as a matter of fact, it was that way for about 20 minutes. So I was happy at the time that I got out of that trade. So what ended up happening is the market consolidated and it went up from there. So, of course, in hindsight, I should have stayed in. But now at this point, the move is from 41.01 to about, that's almost a 30-point move. So obviously, I'm not looking short at all here. I'm looking to potentially buy pullbacks. The moving average is all the way down here. I did take one other trade today. Again, the trade was for me to either get in down here and hold, or get in up here and hold. Once I decided to get out, I'm not going to go ahead and start buying all the way up here. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. I was waiting for a pullback at this point because I felt like I was late. When I saw this bar, like when I saw this pullback here, this came pretty close to the moving average. And these are one of the types of trades that I take. When I see this here, is that I'm expecting immediate buying. So I'll frame this in this way, and I did take this trade. Is that big bear bar, I'm going to assume it's going to get bought in this uptrending market. And I just put a little risk box here. Okay, small risk box. I got long above that green bar. And because every time the market pulled back so far today, the market was bought. So That was my trade right there. That was my risk box. And so my stop is where it needed to be. And now I'm watching price action. And so what I ended up doing was putting my stop right below this red bar. So put my stop right below this red bar. And I got stopped out. That was a micro win there. But days like this, if you don't get onto the trend immediately, it's in these grinding type days, if you have a good average price, it's very easy to just hold and just hold through the pullbacks, possibly add along the way. But this is one of the days that it was Monday morning, and I was just hesitant because I did see this, but then after I saw this, I wasn't expecting this bar, and then by the time I got in, it was just too late. That's how that first part of the day went. And then there was one other trade that I was looking at. I didn't take it when what was it? Yeah, this pullback here. So this is a good learning lesson. Oftentimes when the market has big up late in the day, this is at about 2:30, the market will sell off, okay, below the moving average, and it looks decisive. And I know because I've been caught on the wrong side of this more times than I like to admit. And the bears are starting to get excited here because it looks like we formed the top. But remember, we're still going up against this big trend. So this bear trap right here, when I see this, and I didn't take it because I just was not feeling in rhythm today, and that's okay. But when I see a green bar, what I'll do is I will put, with the theory that this is another trade I could have possibly taken, is I'll frame it this way. That'll be my risk box. And then I would buy with a stop above the green bar. And so that one failed, but it never triggered to the upside. Then I'll do the same thing here. So again, looking for a point when now it's consolidating down there. So there's the green bar, and I will get long right above that green bar. And this one actually would have stopped me out. But the actual idea behind it, there was that big bull run towards the end of the day, or not big, but 37 to about 10 points. This, for me, this was not basically, in my mind, you weren't in here. It was going to be really hard. If you were able to get in somehow in here, you could hold for this. We were above the moving average almost the entire day. And besides that, I wasn't ready to buy way up here after the market had moved and I didn't have a piece of it. So that was the recap for today. Not every day is going to be home runs, but we come in every single day. We do our process and trade well and manage your risk.